here we go with our latest and greatest episode on the Shop Talk podcast. Today we have our very special guest, our friend Martin. Most of you may know him as SP Mopar. Yeah,
that's right,
buddy.
bro. So
thank you for having me.
This is our fifth episode. Fourth guest. We say it every time,
That's
but
right.
we try to keep up with that. So you already introduced him, Martin, at SP Mopar on Instagram. But we'll let you take over and let us know what your socials are, and if you'd like to just give us, for those of them that don't know, an introduction of like kind of what you do exactly.
Sure.
Well, first and foremost, thank you for having me on here. I've known Josh for a little while. Adrian and I go back years. We'll touch upon that a little later. But you can find me through Instagram. What I'm about, I've been in the car industry. My grandfather started it as a mechanic for Mercedes-Benz. My dad was a Mercedes-Benz mechanic. I grew up sitting on his toolbox at 4 years old in a dealership. So I've always had a passion and a love for cars, mechanics, as well as the design side of it. And that's what kind of brought me into doing the car products, modifications, and whatnot. Back in 2017, I was looking for a different type of vehicle. I've always had German cars, and I've had American trucks, but the Dodge caught my eye. My first car was a Scat Pack 2018, and it was fully loaded. It was the first year of the Dynamics package, so it had the big Hellcat brakes and all that. So it was essentially the same car as an SRT 392 without the steering wheel, the badges, and electric suspension, which I switched all those things pretty much anyways on it, except for the electric suspension. So when I was looking at the different cars, I drove one, and that's when I was like, this is a really nice car. Then I actually looked into the community of Mopar, and back in 2017, what really drew me to the cars was how much more mature the owners were. You didn't have, no offense, but you didn't have 16-year-old kids for the most part running around doing donuts in every damn intersection in the cars, destroying them or standing on them to take pictures. They were more of people that worked hard and wanted to have a fun car, have something to blow off steam, but have something that was powerful but fun, and that's what the community was. That's what brought me into it. Once I decided, this is definitely the way I want to go, I looked at Camaros, I looked at Mustangs. They're all really cool cars. There's no knocking them. Whether you're a Ford guy or a Mopar guy or a bow tie guy, it doesn't matter. And nobody's wrong. No. Because they're all cool cars in their own way.
Right. They're all great platforms.
Yeah, you can't hate on somebody because they just simply don't like the car that you love. Right. Because you don't like the car they love. Right. So it's, it's childish. Instead of just, me personally, I don't try not to hate on nobody for the car they drive. I may not like you for the way you drive your car, but that's a whole different story. True. To me, because I come from the mechanical side, the mechanical background, I have a love and a respect for old cars. Lack of a better description, it hurts my soul to see somebody beat the shit out of their car, beat the hell out of it. It's disrespectful. You don't say, this is the woman I love, and then go home and knock her around.
Well, that's not. Just kidding. Just kidding.
She had it coming.
But I only told her once. But that's how I look at cars. Does that mean you can't go do it? No, I don't care what you do. It's your car.
That's right.
Don't do it in my car, but I don't care what you do in your own car. Am I going to go and do donuts and burnouts in my car? No. Have I done a burnout before? Of course. Everybody's done it. But I just feel like once I did it, I didn't need to do it again. Right. I don't need to prove it to anybody. I don't need to prove how much horsepower it has or how fast it goes or any of that.
Post it on your stories
and stuff. That's not what my page is about. My personal page and what I do through Instagram is about the customers. And that's what I like. For me, I love the cars. but I really do it for the customers. And the reason I say that and the reason I do what I do, like Adrian, he takes a lot of pride in what he does, and he has great quality. He has quality in not only his product, but how he actually does an installation. He goes much further than is even needed. He doesn't need to put reinforcement clips and washers and everything that he puts on his front splitters. And I recognize that because I do installs. And that's why the joke is if you put his splitter on your car and crash your car, at least we know the splitter will survive.
Indestructible splitters.
How many videos have you seen where a car somersaults through an intersection and the splitter is completely unscathed?
Yeah, that's crazy.
It is
I
crazy.
mean, that's a
lot of
testament to the
incidents,
quality of how something is done.
Right.
And I try to do the same thing. He does it because he designs his own product, which is fantastic. I don't design my own products, but it's more of how I install the product. So like, say, for example, I did brakes on his car.
Which you have.
Yeah, which we have actually, I think, twice.
Why do you break so much?
Not really, though.
Nah,
No.
Not really.
Nah.
But with the performance pads, they wear down.
Yeah.
And one of the things is with the brakes is I clean the calipers and all that stuff, which is
And then you spray them.
Yeah, not a big thing, but it's one of the things that if you went to a dealership, they're not going to do that.
Oh, no.
They don't care. It's all about getting the car in, getting the car done, and getting you out as fast as possible. And that's how they make
Your
the
wheels
money.
are going to be scratched up.
Yeah, they're
all
just
that stuff,
not going to take the time. That's why most of the time, if you look at your calipers on a car after it's been worked on, they got chips all over it where they've hit it with the rim and there's scratches in the rims. And, so it's just taking... Adrian has, like I said, the same theory of we try to go the extra step for the customer.
Right.
We give you more than what you're paying for.
Yeah.
I remember, I think it was a few months ago, I think it was the first time I met you, and you were telling me kind of more about what you did, and you mentioned something about the brakes that I don't know what the recommendation is that you should drive around for like a certain amount of minutes to make sure, they break in, and you say you do that with your clients for even longer than it takes, and that's when I kind of knew that you go the extra mile, and when they come to you, they're going to get that extra service that they're not going to get at a dealership. They're not going to get at a big time business. So
to elaborate a little bit on that, and I'll keep it brief, but what Josh is bringing up is, and I used to work at a dealership, so I know, and I've been a service advisor, a service manager, a technician, and a parts manager. So I've had different positions within the company. So when you go to a dealer and you have them put on brakes, they will pull the pads off, they'll pull the rotors off, they'll put the new rotors on, they'll put the pads on. They're going to pull it into the parking lot. They're going to hit the brakes 3 times, usually within the parking lot. They usually don't even leave the parking lot. Very rarely will they. And if the brakes feel good enough, they'll give the keys to the detailer and say, here you go, wash the car, bring it up, it's ready for the customer. That's actually not the break-in process for the brakes. From the brake manufacturers, from Brembo, from Power Stop, no matter who you use, R1, it doesn't matter. There is a procedure. And that procedure takes anywhere from 10 to 15 minutes to properly bed in those brakes. You have to, for example, take it up to 40 miles per hour, hard on the brakes down to 10, back up to 40, do that 4 or 5 times or by feel. Once you've done it enough, you actually can feel the difference in how they bite and react. Then you have to go 35 to 5 medium braking, and that builds up heat. And then you need to drive the car for 10 minutes or so to let the brakes fully cool down.
That's a
It's
process.
a process.
Yeah, no, for
and
sure.
And the same thing stands true where people make a big mistake is they will go and drive the car hard and then they'll just park the car. And you don't want to do that. It puts a hot spot in the rotor.
Because they put the e-brake on.
Yeah, e-brake or just parking it. The pads literally hold in one spot of the rotor and it puts a high spot in the rotor, and that's what creates vibration. The other thing that stands true is that people who like to wash their car but don't wash them at home, they'll drive to a car wash and they drive like they normally drive. They get the brakes hot and then they splash cold water on the rotor. I mean, anything metal or glass, when you take and shock it with an opposite temperature, whether going from cold to hot or hot to cold, it's going to distort the metal, and that's exactly what happens to the rotors.
Yeah.
So don't do that.
Don't do that.
Or do that and then come to me and I'm gonna put brakes on your car, but bring your wallet.
What the? Wait, hold on.
Big no.
What the?
hell.
Speaking of quality, this
That's
is why
not quality.
this is not quality.
We're not gonna say name brand. Yeah. Do it, brother. Tell him.
But then we got glasses.
We got a backup for the
We
backup.
got a backup for the backup.
That's right.
Some people got a daily for the daily. We got a
That's
backup
me.
for the backup.
That's right.
But yeah, no, that's crazy. You know what? I realized we didn't do our cheers for today, so let's go ahead and get that out the way.
Yep. Cheers.
It's a guest having you, of course.
Yes,
Thanks for having me.
sir. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Hit the spot.
So the brakes and stuff, that's more of like a maintenance thing, right?
Yes.
But you also do modifications. And I think we
Yes.
had spoke when we saw him when was that Tuesday, that people consider different things modifications. You just want to elaborate on that and what's your opinion?
Yes, so one thing we discussed before was the difference when somebody will contact myself or anybody that does the type of work that I do, and they'll say, I want to modify my car. That's great. And I'm happy you want to modify your car because it makes the car unique. It makes it uniquely yours. And that's the whole point of what we do and why we own these beautiful cars and do what we do to the cars. But when you say I want to modify the car, you need to have a clear idea of what it is you're trying to achieve. For example, I don't drive my car. The car is a 22 and it's got 4,300 miles on it. And it was my sole car. It was my only car up until recently. But I built the car more to be a driver and showcase to what I do. It's not a show car, because a show car is a whole different deal, a whole different animal. And a purely daily is a whole different animal. If this car was purely a daily driver, I personally would never put air suspension on it. Air suspension looks great, but like I always tell people, they're fake tits for your car. They're going to make your car look great, and they're going to cause you nothing but fucking problems, and they're expensive.
There's nothing better than that.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that much. They also require maintenance.
They require maintenance.
But they will always look.
Yeah. So it's a personal preference and a choice. I like lowering springs better, but I've always owned cars on lowering springs, so I'm so accustomed to driving on them, it doesn't bother me to drive slower through dips and over speed bumps and be more cautious of where I drive my car. Mm-hmm. If you're not that person, do not lower your car.
Yeah. Or
go air suspension and raise it up like I do and drive it at stock height and then only air out when you're parked.
Yeah.
But again, that's the difference kind of between building a show car. You really need to think more extreme, more wild, more cutting edge. One of my boys, Trill, he's on IG 392. I think it's 392 Trill. His car, he has actually the whole hood, roof, and trunk ground down to metal and custom painted with clear candy. So it's the metal you're seeing coming through. You know who I'm talking about, right? The black car.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's extreme, dude. Would I do that on a daily? No, because all it takes is somebody to be mad at you and do something to your hood or a rock hit it, and now you got to go through the whole process again.
Yeah.
But there's a budget. You need to come up with a budget, come up with a realistic, what are your plans for the car? If you're going to go hang out at Cars and Coffee, do you need a show car? No. Is it cool to have a show car? Yes. But show cars are high maintenance. I've had show cars. I've had cars. I had a Volkswagen that was in 7 magazines on the cover of 4.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, no bullshit. Like, I brought one of the magazines from my first Scat Pack that was in the Eibach Springs ad. It was actually the car used in the ad.
Yeah.
And then I brought one of the covers from one of the magazines showing me driving the car.
Yeah. We'll have to show him. Right here, somewhere. We'll play them.
But
some B-roll.
That car this was in 1999. That car was the first import in the United States, as far as I know, the world, but in the United States for sure.
Wow.
The first one on 19-inch wheels. It was unheard of. Everybody was like, 18s is already the limit. And I put 19s on a car.
Dang.
And the tires I had on that car weren't even DOT approved. They were TUV. They were German prototype Pirellis that I had a friend who got them snuck into the country for me.
Mm-hmm.
So it was really cool. It was one of the things I really enjoyed. But that was a show car. Like, everything on the car was built to be custom. Mm-hmm. Everything was color matched. The calipers, the suspension, the interior, like everything was done. And it became no fun. Like, it just became a job. Mm-hmm. It was like, oh, I got another car show. I got to spend the next 2 days cleaning the car and getting it ready. Because the undercarriage, everything had to be gone through. And then you didn't want to drive it because you didn't want it to get messed up.
So what's the difference? Like, how do you explain the difference to a show car, like daily driver, and then what do you call like your build? Like, what kind of?
For me, this is more of just a daily. This isn't anything crazy over the top. I mean, total including the purchase of the car, I've got $86,000 in this car.
Yeah.
And to me, this isn't a show car.
And it's,
like,
it's
I can take it to a show,
sale?
but I know I'm not going to win a show with this car. It's not built to be that.
Yeah.
Depends who you know.
Yeah, that's true.
Talked about that last episode.
That is absolutely true.
We're gonna host a car show, and Martin might win.
That's right.
Martin might judge. Martin
In other
will
words,
win.
my boy's been doing it for a while. He's had cars in magazines. He's been in magazines himself. He's been fully sponsored by big time brands, so he knows what he's talking about. This is just, mild right here, what you got right there. But it's still a badass car. It's a wide body. It's on bags. It's an orange package edition. That's what it's called, right?
Hemi orange package.
Hemi orange package. He's got the red eye hood on it. So, yeah. And it's been tinted by who?
Chris the Tint Master.
That's right.
My boy.
That's right.
Yeah.
My man, Chris.
That's right.
Only the best.
That's it.
But, yeah, I mean, it just comes down to really for a daily driver, in my opinion, if you come to me and say, I have a car that I want to build, I'm going to drive it daily, or I'm going to drive it a lot, where it's borderline daily driver status, I'm going to tell you to stay away from the bigger rims so you don't bend rims and you don't have to start clearancing suspension components. There's a lot of things that people don't realize go into like a show car. Like one fat chance, he had the 300. It had a 426 engine under the hood with an Edelbrock supercharger and 22-inch rims on bags. Like, it was taken around on the circuit with Dodge and Chrysler.
Dang.
Yeah, it's big time. He's the one who actually put on LX, what is it? The...
Springfest?
Yeah, Springfest. Sorry.
And we met him in Vegas a year ago.
Yeah. Cool guy.
Yeah.
Built some
older gentleman.
Yeah, really nice cars. But yeah, there's no more Springfest anymore.
No.
It's all over now. From what I heard, there's no plans for it to come back. But that's a car he never drove.
Right.
He only drove it to the show, and then it just sat there, or it got trailered around everywhere.
Yeah.
So
becomes a liability.
Yeah. Because you have an obligation when you build a show car and you get sponsors.
Yeah.
Your sponsors want you to be at the shows.
All the time.
They want you to represent for them. They don't want you out getting in fights and going out drinking in your car and doing those things.
Talking about fights.
There's obligations.
Talking about fights. God damn it.
Yeah.
No more fights.
No more fights. No more fights.
You know what? I have a question because, but I feel like both of you have dealt with sponsorships, right? So, just tell me like your experience about how you guys got the sponsorships and kind of what it takes to get it and maintain it, and if you guys would do it again or not. That's interesting. I feel like I don't know a lot about that.
So I'll tell you about mine. So my sponsorship was through American Racing Wheels. I got fully sponsored back in like 2018, somewhere in there. It was for a new set of wheels that they came up for these cars. They were looking for a car. They liked the red one, so I hit them up, and they fully sponsored me. Gave me the wheels and tires. They really only asked for two shows, which we did Springfest, and then the second one just kind of fell through. But that's pretty much it. So it was pretty easy. It was pretty straightforward. It was great. I was also in their website, their brochure, and then there was something else that I was in, commercial.
Yeah. So
The big thing I would say about sponsorships, because I've been on both sides of it. I ran a multi-million-dollar Volkswagen tuning company that was the second largest in the United States back from 92 till 2000 and something, I forget, 2003, I think. But when you sign up for a sponsorship, everybody thinks it's just about what they're getting for free.
Right.
The sponsor is looking at what you're going to bring to the table for them.
Right.
You can have the nicest car in the world, but if you don't have a good attitude, I wouldn't sponsor you. If you weren't going out and showing the car and pushing my product, then why would I want to sponsor you?
Right.
So that's the big thing. If you want to get sponsored, that's great. And I'm not saying don't do it, but make sure that you bring something more to the table, that you're aggressive in promoting that company.
Right.
I guess is the best way to put it.
right.
You know, don't think, oh, well, I got this and I went to the show, so we're good.
Yeah.
And some companies don't care. Some companies are so big, like AFE, K&N. Yeah, they may throw you a bone and say, here's an intake, whatever. Just go to a couple shows. But it's good for you. What you give, it always comes back to you. So if you're always trying to give more, like Adrian and I, like I brought up earlier, what we try to give to the customers, as a sponsor, you should try to give that back to the people that are sponsoring you.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you're getting something for free,
Yeah,
essentially.
literally.
I mean, make it worth that.
Regardless of what it costs somebody
To make
to make the
fabricate.
product, it still costs them real money.
Right.
Yeah.
There's still R&D. There's still packaging. There's still employees and everything else behind the scenes. So I think a lot of people too many times get caught up in, well, they gave me this part, but this part only costs them $10. It doesn't matter. They don't owe it to you. They don't have to give you anything. You're looking at it wrong. The minute you start thinking that way, get out of trying to get a sponsor.
Yeah.
Forget it. Just go buy it yourself. If you think that's all it's worth,
But
then why do you want it?
like some sponsorships, like Amia got her wheels, and her contract was kind of like you have to keep them on for a certain time. Is that common, or?
It depends on the company.
It is
common. Yeah. Typically it's a year.
Usually
that they want
1
you to give
year.
them on,
Yeah. Okay.
You know, but it's. I mean, they want the exposure. They want the pictures. They want all that stuff. You know, just so you can get it out there. Obviously, they got to sell that product. So
They got to get return on their investment.
ROI, right?
That's all it is.
Yeah.
It's all everything.
Yeah.
If it doesn't make money, it don't make
It makes
sense.
sense. Nope.
Yeah.
Have you guys sponsored someone within what you guys do?
I have.
How'd that work out?
It worked out, you know. Essentially, what I asked for was, you know, exposure. You know, I need you to tag me. I need you to, you know, go out there and always like show the product and all that, or you know. But it works out. At the end of the day, you gotta also like give something back. As you know, like me, I always have to give something back. I feel like I have to give something back because, like, if it wasn't for everybody that wants the product, then I wouldn't be able to do this, you know. But
You gotta have cars on the street with your product too.
Yeah.
I mean, you have a ton, bro. I drive all over and I see like your shit all the time.
keep them in the
All the
streets.
time, yeah, it's crazy. But you know, it's never wrong to get more exposure.
Right. You know, you make them feel good. Everybody feels good. I feel good when I sponsor someone, you know, or when I give something out to someone because, you know, I can see the gratitude in their face. And then I'm a giver. I don't like to receive. I feel weird about receiving stuff.
What?
Even with my friends, you know, like when they give me something, I feel a little weird. But I like to give, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
I like that feeling.
That's cool.
So that's my take on the sponsorships. We'll let Martin talk about the sponsorship stuff.
I personally have never sponsored somebody because I don't make my own product. What I've always tried to do is help out customers. There's definitely been times where if I'm doing a bunch of work to the car, I may throw them a bone and do some additional debadging or whatever to the car just to help them out and not charge them. So as far as the sponsorship, I can't really elaborate on what I've done for people other than that. my first Scat Pack, I was sponsored by Vertini Wheels. We had a great relationship, and same thing, take it to a couple shows, get us some photos, whatnot, and that's what happened with that one. On this car, I don't think I did anything sponsor-wise. No, I didn't. So, yeah, that was it as far as that goes.
Interesting.
Yeah. So, you guys have been in the Mopar scene a long time, right? Mm-hmm. What do you guys think has changed over the years? So,
there's been a lot. I'll tell you that. Like you were saying earlier, when like I first got my car in 2016, yeah, definitely it was an older crowd. Nowadays, it's wild, to say the least.
What I would, not to cut you off, but what I would say while it's fresh in my mind is Dodge's own advertising says everything you need to know.
Yeah.
We used to be the Brotherhood of Muscle. Mm-hmm. Goldberg was the spokesperson. I don't know if he still is or not, but he was. Really cool guy. I've actually met him. But that was the whole thing, is we were the Brotherhood of Muscle, and no bullshit. If you owned a Mopar, people would be like, hey, what's up? And it was cool. It was like a family. Now their commercials are all around donuts, drifting, and burnouts. And what do you see the people doing? Donuts, drifting, and burnouts. That's all it is now. They're really, other than the guys that have been around for a while that still have the cars, that's not what the new community really, in my opinion, is about. That's why I don't attend a lot of things anymore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's changed. It's gotten crazy.
Yeah.
That shows the marketing works. The importance of marketing, though.
The marketing definitely
it works, but it
steers the customers good or bad. So your marketing, you have to be very careful on the marketing side.
Yeah, but to touch upon that as well, I think I've seen like 17, 18-year-olds show up with brand new Hellcats, and they didn't buy it. Their dad bought it, their parents bought it. I think that's a little on the shady side, on the not so smart side, but hey, everybody can do whatever they want.
That's us talking as parents, so.
Yeah, for sure. I don't think I would do that for my kids. And I know my dad didn't do it for me.
Nope.
But, because my car scares me. Yeah. I'm 42 and I've had it for 8 years.
Your car scares me too.
Yeah.
That's why I drive behind him.
And I feel like it's not a matter of like, oh, they bought him a Hellcat, like that's a dumb decision, like money wise. It's kind of dumb to buy a kid a Hellcat.
It's a car that goes 203 miles per hour.
Crazy. That's too much power.
And all of us at one time were much younger.
Yeah.
And when you're younger,
you're young and dumb.
It's not until you become old do you realize how stupid you really were. That's the problem.
Give me that much power, I won't be here next podcast. I'm going to tell you that.
Well, even like an RT has more than enough power, like that you could get in trouble. Mm-hmm. So let alone like a Scat Pack or a Hellcat or a Red Eye or whatever the King Daytonas,
shit, even the GT V6 I think goes 150 plus miles per hour.
Right.
If you really want to drive like out of control, you can. You can in any car.
Right.
Yeah.
I've seen people doing Honda Civics.
But they just have too much power for two wheels. You come around the corner and you punch it, you're going to lose it.
Yeah.
People laugh about all the Mustangs doing all that. These are fully capable of doing that as well. I've had a couple where like I get a little shaky, but I think it's irresponsible for all these kids to be driving all these cars with all that power. But hey, I'm not their parents. They can do whatever they want. That's what I've seen that's changed in the Mopar scene and just in the muscle car era. Like Mustangs have more than enough torque too as well. Like they are scary to drive. But whatever.
Yeah, the thing I would add to that is, guys, cars are great. We're all car fanatics, hence why we're here doing this. But at the end of the day, we're not going to most likely have these cars in 10, 20, 30 years. We're going to have moved on to whatever's next.
Yeah. What is next?
That's what I was about to say.
Yeah. But think about your future. Make smarter decisions. Don't just buy with your heart, buy with your head.
Right.
And the reason I say that is I have customers, not passing judgment on them or anything like that. It's your money, it's your car. You earned your money, you pay your payments, I don't care what you do. But I have customers that are 19 years old, who drive brand new wide body Hellcats, paying $1,700 a month, living in an apartment complex. That's not smart.
Or living with
mom and dad. That's just not smart.
Yeah.
The cars are cool, but be patient. Have some patience.
I live with mom. That's fucked up.
But it's different.
But I also knew a dude that lived in an apartment and got his wheels repoed. That was fucked up. I ain't gonna lie. You know who I'm talking about. Your name rhymes with Drew. Yeah. Yeah. Your shit got repoed before you even got your shit. Your shit got repoed at a car show.
Damn. I should get repoed.
Damn, that's
I should get repoed at a car show.
How you gonna get your wheels repoed at a car show and you weren't even there? Damn. Just saying. But yeah, that's how it's changed, you know?
Yeah.
It's gotten crazier, definitely. You see some crazy stuff, and it's going to continue to change, you know? Now that we're not going to have these big motors and all that, we're going electric. And a lot of people don't like it. I personally don't like it. I can appreciate it, but I don't like it. They are fast. I'm going to tell you that right now. These 6 that they're coming out with, word on the street is there's going to have 3 different versions. One version is going to be over 1,000 horsepower or capable to hold over 1,000 horsepower. That's nuts. That's for a V6. The electric, I mean,
it's a inline 6.
Yeah, okay, twin turbo.
Twin turbo inline 6. The architecture of the motor, so you guys know who aren't familiar with what's coming out, it's called an i6 Hurricane. It's an inline 6. The architecture of the motor is based off of what BMW has in the M340i. Along with the M3, M4. So Dodge is coming out with, like you said, 3 different versions. They have 496 is the base, 550 is the high output.
Okay.
And then the Scat Pack is 670. And that's unmodified.
Right. That's with small turbos.
Smaller turbos. The 670 is with what's called power shot. So what happens is you're truly not getting 670 horsepower. You do, but you don't.
For short periods of time, right?
Yes, it's a burst of power. So you get 630 actually, but it gives you 40 horsepower for, I think it's 3 or 4 seconds, and then it cuts off.
Gotcha.
So it's like a e-torque system on the Rams.
Gotcha.
Where it helps spool the engine up. So it's, the proof's going to be when we drive it. Well, I may drive it and fall in love with it and say, okay, I was totally wrong. This is way better than I thought it would be. Do I love the sound of a V8? Of course. Yeah. But my wife had an M340i, and I can honestly say between this car and that car, her car was a better car. It accelerated better. It handled better. It was better on gas. It braked better because it's lighter. Weight is not your friend.
And I can say the same thing. I have an STI, and it's a different beast. It's a different type of speed.
It's a different feel. Yeah.
That once that turbo hits, and you hear it and you feel it, it's different. It's not 700 horsepower, but I'm gonna tell you, it moves.
Yeah.
It moves.
The thing with a V8 is is very, to me, seems very guttural. It kind of pulls on your
testicles.
Yeah, your testicles. Testosterone.
What?
No, it pulls
like that new word, huh?
Yeah, look it up on Urban Dictionary.
Yeah, to me, it really just pulls on kind of the emotional heartstrings of when you were little and you would ride in a car with your dad. And
you see a car drive by and hear the, for sure.
That's why I don't get excited about electric cars.
It just goes.
It just goes. I mean, it's impressive. We were talking earlier. I have a friend who is very well-to-do, and he has all kinds of dream cars. Everything from Porsche GT3, Ferrari F8s. He had a Tesla Plaid right when they came out, and I asked him. I was like, "Wow, you got a Tesla Plaid? Like, how is it?" And he said, "It's like driving an iPhone," and that said it all. Like, I'm an Apple guy. And an iPhone is a great phone. There's nothing exciting. It just does everything you want it to do. So he got rid of the car and he went back to an actual performance car like a Porsche or a Ferrari and all those things.
Yeah.
He said it just had no soul.
Yeah, he said it was like
that was the biggest thing.
A car with no soul.
Yeah, it was like no soul. He goes, it was blistering fast. It was amazing.
Like a hot girl with no personality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd take her.
You take her?
Yeah. It's a blank canvas. Yeah. I got you.
Okay, well, on
I'm
that
happily
point,
married, so.
do you guys think that you could have an electric car and be a car guy?
No,
Why not?
because it's got no soul.
Yeah. Yeah.
Saying, it's got no
You know
soul.
what? I would say yes, you can be a car guy, but you can't be a car guy about your electric car. That's
Okay.
what I would say. Because everybody I know, like my friend who had that car, he also had a Brabus Mercedes V12 twin turbo in the garage. And he was always excited about the Mercedes, and the Tesla was still faster. But at the end of the day, it had no soul. He was never excited about the Tesla. He loved that Brabus.
If my car's gonna have a speaker, it's gonna be playing Baby Got Back. Not from like Hellcat exhaust. Nah. They're fast. I'm telling you, but nah, not me.
What if they're like, because I know somebody, listen, they got a Tesla, it's all like wrapped, it's all bad.
Don't get me wrong.
Okay.
Some of them look good.
That's not a
Some
car
look
guy
good.
to you. That is not a car guy.
I've seen them
Was that
bagged
a
with a
computer guy?
wrap and all that, and they're
A
nice.
tech guy?
But that, yeah, it's like a tech
Or
guy
he's just
who's
a guy.
car guy. He's a
He
confused
identifies
personality.
as a car guy, but he not.
Damn. That's the thing. You
Yeah.
identify as all kinds of things.
It depends on if you're more into just the looks
Yeah.
or you're into the overall experience and the performance. Then I would say yes. That doesn't go hand in hand with electric.
Since you guys both work on Mopars, what's the number one, like, what's the must thing to like modify in a Charger? Like, what's a must for you?
The stands.
Stance?
Yeah. You gotta make it look right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me, I hate sunlight, so I always tint the windows first.
Yeah, no, that's most people, honestly.
Me
yeah.
personally, the first two things I think anybody should do to a car is find somebody like this guy right here, take it to somebody who knows what they're doing, get your paint protected before you drive and jack up your car.
Right.
Then get the windows tinted, and then come see Adrian, get a splitter, and get a wicker bill, and get some side skirts, and then come to me and we'll lower your car and tint the taillights, and man, you're gonna be broke. But we'll be happy.
But you know what? Your car is gonna look fire.
You're up.
That's for sure.
Talking about like the paint protection, I'm gonna tell you, yes. I'm on the fourth bumper of my car. Yeah.
This has PPF on it.
Yes.
Full front end.
Yeah. Who did that?
Chris Tentmaster.
That's right.
Yep.
That's right.
But there's different films, and you know, and they've been evolving every year. They seem to be getting better. This one was done in 22. Even though it's holding up pretty well, if I keep the car, I'm going to probably get it redone. I'm probably going to have them redo it with the new stuff because they have a new one now. If it takes an impact, you can just heat it up with like a heat gun and it self-heals.
Yeah.
It's
That's crazy.
like
the
Titan
technology.
ceramic coatings. They have that where you pour boiling hot water on your car and it heals the scratch. And
They also have like the color change now, PPF.
Yeah.
That's self-healing as well.
Yeah.
It's just huge.
Great.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Great products.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's crazy.
But yeah, with your car modifications, the biggest piece of advice I would give anybody is come up with a plan, come up with a budget, and do things methodically. I always try to help customers out. I get customers all the time. Oh, I want to put the nostril grills in my car. And then they come back a month later and I want to put the Hellcat airbox in my car. I'm like, well, if we would have done it at the same time, it would have saved you money. So, you know, just have a plan, have a budget.
Well, if you don't have a plan, you just gotta have money.
Yep.
I got a plan.
Or have a limited budget.
there you go. You guys need to charge consultation fees, man.
Yeah, 1-800 consult you.
Yep. Consulting fees.
That's right.
That's crazy. Okay, what's the number one modification Chargers or any Mopar like people put on their vehicle that you guys hate, like you can't stand, or is there not like something?
I personally hate wraps.
Oh,
I hate wraps with a passion.
Yeah,
I don't believe in wraps. To me, it's a decal.
yeah,
Decals are temporary.
right.
It's like a lick and stick tattoo. Really, if you're going to do it, go all in and just do the damn tattoo. But it's just a personal thing. I didn't grow up. I'm an older generation than both of you guys. So back when I grew up, how you knew somebody cared about their car was the quality of their paint. If you looked at a car and it looked like crap, you were like, damn, they don't give a damn about their car.
Yeah.
Now people just throw a wrap on. But the problem with wraps that people don't understand is they may tell you that that wrap's going to last 4 years. It's not. Not in California, not in a hot climate. You're going to be lucky. I mean, if you put a cover on it, if you keep it in the garage, maybe. But realistically, 1.5 to 2 years max. And then you got to deconstruct the car to rip it all off and do it all over again. So that's the one thing. It has its place. Like I said, if you're building a crazy wild show car, we know people who have done it where they put a crazy wrap and all over the car and stuff. And it's cool because to do that in paint would cost you $30,000 to $50,000. That's not realistic.
Right.
But Queen of Hearts with her car, that's paint.
That's paint.
Yeah.
You can't take nothing. I personally like it, but some people may not like that style. But the cool thing about it is you have to give her respect for the fact that she went all in. She said, you know what? I ain't doing this in a wrap. I'm going to go with a full-blown paint job. Yeah. That's cool. No one can take nothing from that.
Yeah, for sure.
I hear you.
That's dedication right there.
Yeah.
For sure.
And passion.
Yeah.
What about you, man? What's like a modification that you're just like, I don't know, you can't
like?
stand? Yeah, or like why?
Fuzzy dice from the rearview mirror. Unless it's a lowrider.
I don't like those things that you put above your doors.
Oh, the visors, the air deflectors.
Yeah.
I forgot about those. Yeah, I ain't a fan of that shit either.
I don't even install them.
Yeah.
Can you put them on? No. Why not?
No.
Where you buy it? AutoZone? Bruh.
AutoZone.
Nah.
Where you buy it? Where you buy it? Amazon Prime? Bruh. Nah, I don't. That's the one thing that I don't like.
Yeah.
I don't think it's for our cars. Other cars, they look good.
It depends on the build.
Yeah, for
absolutely.
sure.
Like I said, same with the wrap. It depends on the build.
It rarely rains around here, so why do you need them? But people say the same thing about mud flaps, and I have them on the STI. I like it, but whatever, right?
Yeah, so I guess it's important. Like, no matter what other people think, if you like it,
that's all that matters.
That's all that matters.
It's your car.
But don't ask. Don't go asking other people for their opinion because you're gonna get your feelings hurt.
Yeah, that's a good point. I guess my answer would really be me answering for me.
For you, yeah.
Not really like I don't care. I get customers that come in with wraps on their car. It's not my thing,
right?
But I don't hate on them because they have a wrap on their car. I've seen really good wraps. But like I said, the only thing is how long it lasts. That's the thing that kills me because they think, well, I got a wrap and I got a ceramic coat. It's gonna last forever. No, it's not.
A big part of that also has to do with when you are getting a wrap is to ask what film they're using. There's a lot of wrap shops use like cheap film, right, from China and stuff.
Well, it's return customers, guaranteed return business.
Yeah, right. But that's the kind of stuff that for sure is not going to last, right? If you do something like 3M, Avery, or something that's more like,
Avery is good
so
stuff.
It's going to last a little bit longer.
But it also is like maintenance.
It's also maintenance. Yeah. It's a lot of work to have a wrap vehicle.
You can't put tire shine on your shit. You can't have it on the sun all day long. It's got to be garage kept for it to last that long.
You can't take it to drive-through car washes and stuff.
Because
a lot of
it'll
maintenance.
go bad. At the end of the day, it's still a sticker. That adhesive is either going to like bake or like just come off.
Yeah.
So it's tough. Wraps are tough. They look good, some, but it's your choice.
Yeah, I think personally, I think what it is, a lot of people don't get educated on it. They get sold on it, and they like the instant gratification. Oh, I'm not going to be without my car for 3 months while it's getting painted. They're going to wrap this thing in 4 days, you know, and it's boom, instant gratification, which is what most people want, you know.
Yeah.
So,
I guess like what I say about like the modification that I hate the most, the rain guards or whatever you call them, that's just like a lick it and stick it. You can always pull it off and it's no harm, no foul. But the worst one for sure in our industry, in our type of cars, fake wide body kits.
Oh, that's the winner right there.
I see it. Come on. I know a lot of you are going to get mad. But it's okay. You know, you don't have to watch me. You don't have to watch me say it.
I gotta agree with
Fake
that.
white body kits, bruh.
There are some that look better.
But at the end of the day, it's cheaper if you just get rid of that car and go buy a real white body. Because it's a lot more than
it's a
just a
different
white
car.
body kit.
Yeah.
You know, the white, it's going to be the cost of the white body kit, the paint, the installation,
The
you gotta
rims.
do wheels, right?
Yep.
And at the end of the day, it's not going to ride the same as a real white body, period.
Yeah.
I've heard that. Does that affect like it being a clean title or not? I've heard someone say that
If
it
you
makes it
cut
stop.
the
it doesn't
quarter
hurt it.
panels, yes.
Right?
If you cut
Or
the
no.
quarter panels, yes. If you don't, then no.
Yeah, it depends on how they look at it, but it's not paid by the insurance company, so it's never flagged as salvaged or repaired anyways. But anybody who knows, like him or I would look at the car and be like,
nah.
this ain't a factory oil
Yeah.
body. Like when you pull these flares off of the car here, underneath it, there's actually flat spots with holes in them where this fender flare clips into it.
Yeah.
But for example, like he pointed out, these cars are different, even though they both have the big brakes and everything, you know, aside from the motor and the transmission. But the wide body, you not only get the flares, different bumpers, you get wider rims. On that car stock were 9.5s, these are 11s. You get electric suspension standard on old wide bodies. On 21 and up, they went to a 1/2 inch bigger front brake rotor.
Right.
And then you have bigger sway bars.
Right.
The springs are a stiffer spring rate. That's why the wide bodies handle better.
Is the car wider than this one?
The body itself, no. But
okay.
with the flares, it's 3 inches wider.
Right.
It's 1.5 inches on each side.
Gotcha.
So it's 3 inches wider car.
Yeah,
It's a big girl.
Fake white body kids is the big no-no. Big no-no. No.
The thing that kills me, and I didn't even think about this until you brought up the fake wide body kit, is I would say if you're going to do a wide body kit on your car, guys, even if you like the damn rims on your car, change your rims. Get the wider rims, the correct rims. I have seen cars with aftermarket wide body kits where they kept the same regular body rims and put big ass wheel spacers on the car. It's really hard on your wheel bearings. The spacers can fail. And when you get behind the car and the car's still got a tire that's only this wide, nah, that ain't cool.
Yeah.
That's what I like about it.
It's nice.
It's a fun car. Like there is nothing to me like a muscle car. I'm kind of, I'll throw it out there. I'm the anti-muscle car owner. I come from the German car community where balance means more than horsepower. So for me to actually like these cars was a stretch. But once I drove it, like I said earlier, is when I was like, okay, I get it. Now I finally get what this is about. But what I like about it is in the Scat Pack, it, to me, has the best balance. It has the most usable power for the chassis. The handling is good. It's 150 pounds lighter in the nose than the Hellcat is. For those of you guys that know, I had a red eye before. So I like the balance of the car. The looks of the car, I think Dodge killed it. This is still, in my opinion, one of the sexiest looking cars they've ever designed.
Oh, well, yes.
You know,
and then they just killed it with the wide body.
Yeah. Just the mail slot and the bumper and just the hood. I love the hood. Certain things on the car. What I don't like about it, that you could buy a GT or you can buy a jailbreak red eye. And it's all got the same fucking interior in it. It's just, we covered it in Alcantara. We covered it in leather. That's all they do. But it's the same seat frame. It's the same dash. It's the same shit. I don't like that. I personally think they should have given the Scat Pack a slightly different seat. And then the Hellcat should have had a special seat. If you go, for example, look at a Ford Mustang GT350 or GT500, it doesn't have the same interior as a GT does.
Or the bumpers.
Yeah, it's all different. It's like, okay, now I see what I'm paying for.
Yeah,
I'm getting more. I'm not only getting horsepower, but I'm getting a different car. It's unique. So from that standpoint, that's the thing I personally don't like. The other thing I don't like is I personally don't like the suspension on these cars.
Why?
They're very twitchy. When you draw, and I'm talking not around corners. The handling, they plant really well if you set the suspension up right. But just driving here, I drove from Menifee to Temecula, just driving down the freeway, the wide body does this all down the road.
Oh, because of the big,
constantly,
because of the wide tires.
the wide tires, but even my other scat, I noticed it. It doesn't. Dodge, okay, for all you who don't know, Dodge cut the corners on everything they could to save money. And by that, this suspension is out of an old E-Class Mercedes, but Dodge took it a step further and they got rid of the caster adjustment and the camber adjustment. So when you lower them, you end up with camber. And your caster changes.
Yeah.
So all of that affects how the suspension reacts to dips, bumps, everything in the roadway. So I personally, those are the big things for me. I think looks wise, it's a sexy car. The interior's nice. The seats to me aren't very comfortable. And I always point out to customers, when you sit in a Dodge, you don't sit like this. You tend to sit kind of like this. And if you don't believe me, sit in your Dodge next time and check how you're sitting. The reason you do that is as wide as that seat is, it has too much side bolster and the center pad
like
is
this,
not wide
really,
enough.
yeah.
So you end up with your hip kind of up on one side. So you kind of, let me get comfortable in here. And that's why a lot of us drive like this. We don't drive like this.
Drive like,
Yeah,
they
we
want you
all
to
do
look
it.
gangster.
We all were the gangster.
Yeah.
Right.
Just cruising.
yeah.
And I don't like the fact that I think they're overpriced.
Well, that
I think
now,
they're way out of
especially-
their minds. The maintenance on them is crazy.
but I think every manufacturer is there right now.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah. They've went crazy with it. Like,
it's a popular car.
yeah,
It's a popular car.
like even at MSRP, I think
It's a little high,
it's a little high.
tad bit. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
For what you get. Like I said, if they would change a few things, sure.
At the end of the day, it's still Dodge.
Yeah. Yep. It is
Right.
what it is. You're not driving a Mercedes, BMW, Ferrari, Porsche. You're not driving an exotic. It may have more horsepower and may beat the car in 0 to 60 and it'll probably beat it in the quarter mile. You're still driving a Dodge. don't overinflate your ego.
You're driving a Dodge.
Yep.
Dodge.
Yeah.
What you love and hate about your car, man? Let me scoot over a little.
What do I hate about the car?
Love and hate. What's your favorite things about your car, and what don't you like about your car?
I hate the price about the cars. You know, to me, that's pretty much all I hate about it. I agree with him when he said about the Scat Pack being a lot better balance as far as power to weight ratio. Yes, he's right about that. It handles better because of the power. This one, it doesn't handle. It's too much power for two wheels. Tires are not wide enough. Not good tires. But yeah, I mean, he's right. It's heavier in the front, but you can't beat that.
Yeah. That's just,
You know what I mean?
Yep.
But other than that, no. I don't really hate anything else about it. I like it.
So, on to the next topic. One of the questions I feel like we got most on Instagram was how you guys met. So, how did you guys meet?
We met, we were live one time, and we were wanting to kick it or whatever. We're having a barbecue.
That was with Purple Monster Hellcat.
Yeah, that was David was
We
live.
were live as an Instagram live.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Instagram live, and we were pushing Michelada mix.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, we asked, who wants to come and try it out, and some guy said named Martin wanted to come through, and said
Martin.
David asked me, hey, can a guy named Martin come through? I said, Martin, sure. So 15 minutes later, I hear a doorbell, ding dong, and I see a guy. I'm like, what the hell? I open the door and hey, I'm Martin. And
Adrian said, "You're right."
yeah. He said, you're right. So
Is it that obvious?
Martin came over. He had beers with us. We were barbecuing, like I said, had beers and carne asada, and he just hung around, and we became good friends. Through cars and everything. Is very knowledgeable. Obviously, he also had a Mopar.
One of the things I think that really brought us together is Adrian goes, "You like salsa?" And I'm like, yeah. And he goes, you like it hot? And I said,
Yeah.
yeah, I can handle it hot.
Who was the guy that one time? It was one of the neighbors that I had, right? That stopped by. And he said he could eat hot salsa. And my boy left. And his back door was on fire.
Adrian, who was it? David sent Cindy to the grocery store thing?
With Roger? Oh, that was with Roger.
Oh, I heard the story, right?
Banana challenge.
But he made salsa. It was, I mean, I'm not saying this because he's my friend. I'll be completely honest with you. The man can cook. He makes great salsa. He made salsa with 5 serrano, 1 habanero.
He remembers the recipe still?
And I remember because I was sitting with him and I'm like, what are you putting that? And he was like, hitting the cilantro and the whole 9 in there. I'm like, hell yeah, the avocado.
Yeah.
And him and I were just going to town and Dave was like waiting for me to be like, I can't handle this. And I was like, what? And that's when he was like, he's cool.
You invited to that
Because we started, and next thing you know, I think I left your place at like 2 in the morning.
Damn.
The first time I met him, I was like, bro, I'm sorry I stayed so. He goes, no, it's cool. Come back whenever you want.
And Martin just lived up the street, you know, and he just started hanging around us when we were in the garage. Basically, it was a party before we made it like serious, like to make money off the cars. It was just a party, so we wouldn't hear from you know who. We just kick it, and when we started getting a little bit more serious, we just kind of said, all right, we gotta like stop drinking while we're working, you know. There's a party. Let's party after we're done, and Martin also started working on cars after that, right? He started working on cars a little bit. And shortly after that, we hit the pandemic. A lot of people, as you know, lost their jobs, and Martin made it his full-time, you know, sidekick, you know, basically, and that's what he does. That's what he's been doing ever since the pandemic hit. But yeah, that's pretty much how we met, you know, and obviously world famous SP Mopar now, you know, he's big on Instagram. But that's how we met. You know?
It's still the craziest thing to be walking down Main Street, USA at Disneyland, and hear SP. And I'm like, what the fuck?
No,
I mean, for me, guys, I'm just a mechanic that knows about design, and I'm happy to help you guys like figure out like what's going to go best with the color and how you're imagining the car and dreaming of the car to be. That's probably one of the most fulfilling parts for me is working with customers when I've built so many cars. I've built cars for SEMA. I've built cars for MTV videos, cars for movies, you know, cars for professional NFL players, like all kinds of stuff. It's not just what I post on IG. But this is my passion. It's what I love. But that's, I think, one of the funnest things is talking to somebody and then helping them realize what they're imagining in their mind and then helping steer them to something that's even better than what they thought were thinking. And that's one thing I hear a lot. And that's not me having an ego or boasting or anything. It's just because I have the experience. And I have an eye for colors and coordinating things and textures and stuff like that.
So we attract a lot of people from various places of this country, right? What's the customer that's driven the furthest to come and see you?
Florida. No bullshit.
That's far.
Driven. Wow. Now, in all fairness, he was in the Navy. And he drove from Florida and was getting restationed out here, but he planned it around his changeover.
That feels good, huh? Knowing a client.
Yeah, the furthest driving, legitimately just driving to me and then driving home, Oklahoma.
Damn.
25 hours of driving. Damn. I know because I did that drive before. Yeah. And he drove 25 hours. I did literally everything to his car. He said, I want everything you do. And this was back in 2019, I believe, or 19 or 18. And I did every single thing that I do. Grills, Hellcat airbox, differential brace, brakes, brake rotors, lowering springs, taillight tint, LED side markers, exhaust tips. I did, like, he brought in a bone stock car and he drove out with something that he could be proud to drive into Cars and Coffee or a car show. he wouldn't win the car show. It wasn't built to be a car show car, but he could definitely show up and people would go, "That's a nice car."
Right.
Like, it was a beautiful car.
Wow.
If I remember correct, it was granite crystal, and it was a scat pack.
Dang.
But that was cool. Like, for me, I was so impressed with the customer that he was willing to drive to me, because I just don't think of myself like that. That after I was done, he dropped off the car and left, and I actually washed his whole car for him, because obviously it was covered in bugs and everything.
Yeah.
I even gave the car like a mini detail, and then I went out and did a photo shoot and videos and everything on the car and provided him all that. Again, just trying to give him a little more.
He drove that far,
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, dude, when he picked up his car, he was blown away. Like, he was like, "I can't believe this is the same car." And it was cool. Like, for me, I get excited when people are excited about their cars.
Yeah.
Because it's what I do. Like, I've done it a million times.
Yeah.
So for me, it's another car. But when you see a customer excited, it's like when you detail a car and you know how bad it was when it came in, or what the problems were, and then the customer recognizes that,
Right.
that's the big pat on the back. For me, that's the big pat on
It
the back.
like resparks your joy in it, because sometimes when we do this every day, I feel like it becomes like
A job.
even if it was your passion, right? Once it becomes your main source of income, like right, I'll be on the phone with him sometimes, and I'll be like, "Man, I hate doing this shit." He's like, "That's what you do, bud." And I'm like, "Yeah," but then so you'll get that one client or that one car that it kind of resparks your passion a little bit, you know. Not that we're not passionate about what we do, but it's hard when you do it every day, and you know it becomes like
Redundant.
a job. Yeah,
It's just
so it's always
redundancy.
nice to have those clients that make you feel really good about it. You see their excitement about picking up their car and shit, whatever, and it makes you feel good.
Yeah, it
for sure.
reinvigorates your passion for
sure,
what
yeah.
you're doing. And it pushes you to, like, okay, it's cool that somebody recognizes it.
Right.
Instead of just doing it and somebody pays you and then they drive away and drive through a big old puddle on the way out, and you're like, "God, I just cleaned that car." Like, that's what
Rains the next day.
I used to do auto detailing. And it's the thing that used to piss me off is people would leave and they didn't give a crap.
Yeah.
Park under a tree, and I'm like, "Oh my God, there's gonna be sap all over it, bird shit all over it."
Yeah.
It used to make me crazy.
Right. That's crazy.
What's the furthest someone's driven for you, man?
Chicago.
Chicago, damn.
Chicago.
Chi-town.
That's what they end up getting done.
Home of the
Everything.
Blackhawks.
Everything too?
Yeah. Yeah, he showed up like on a Friday night. Did the work. Saturday morning he went right back. He was 18 and his girlfriend was 19. Yeah, they were little. And I asked him, I mean, like, how your parents? He's like, "Oh yeah, they didn't want to let us come, but you know."
Yeah,
He said it was a tough drive coming through the Rockies, because he came through the Rockies. He said it was a little,
Yeah, I've done that. I've done that drive.
yeah, but he was little, but he made the drive.
That's
if you're driving that far, you better get everything, huh? Like, it's not worth
for
it
sure.
to come for just like,
For sure.
one thing.
Yeah, that's far. That's the furthest that I've had a guy come just for that. Had another guy in Michigan that worked in Michigan. He bought a car there, drove to Texas because that's where he lived. Picked up the family, drove to Arizona, dropped the family off, came to me and came to Martin, and then went right back. And he's done it twice with 2 different cars.
Damn.
It's crazy.
It's crazy to
That's
think about.
far.
Yeah.
That's really far.
Power of social media.
Power of social media.
Reach.
Yeah, the
For
reach.
sure. And if you're pushing out a good work or product, I feel like people will drive.
Yeah.
People.
But I think,
just like
I think
us.
more so than the reach of Instagram, because I can tell Adrian, "Hey, come on my page and brag about like how good of a job I did on your car." And it sounds like crazy, but there are people who do that.
Oh,
We
yeah, all
don't
the
do
time.
that, but
Yeah.
I know for a fact there are companies who do that and people who do that. For us, the big thing is word of mouth.
Right.
Like I know for a fact Adrian gets the same thing where we'll do one car and all of a sudden we'll get like 2-3 other customers and they're like, "Yeah, my boy," and they're all excited. "My boy just came in, you did his car. Oh my God, I love it. I gotta get it done on my car." Like, that means the work is speaking for itself, and people understand that for us, it's not just about making the money. It's about making people happy and delivering a level of professional install and product.
So if a client wants to reach out to you, get some work done, what's the best, like, how do they start that conversation, and how do you not start the conversation,
Don't start the conversation with "yo."
Okay.
Or hi.
Just high period.
Like, get to the point.
Yeah.
Like, You got to realize when we're answering people through Instagram on any given day, I probably respond to 40 to 50 DMs a day. Average. It used to be worse. I literally counted them. I used to average over 120 a day.
Wow.
It was 12 hours of being on the IG. So it's not that we don't want to get to know you, but we want to get to the point, because honestly, at that point, you're just a prospective customer. So let us know what you want, and we'll reply to you accordingly. Once you're there, yeah, you can ask me questions, no problem. We can joke around and bullshit in the whole nine. But over IG, it needs to stay business. Like, just get to the point. Don't, hi, how's the weather in California? Like, that's cool, but really, what do you want? We just have to keep it to the point, because time is money. And a lot of times when you're sending us messages, we're working on something else.
Yeah.
So,
Yes.
I would say just get to the point. What do you want? Like,
For sure.
and let me know what you have. I have a 2022 wide body Scat Pack, and I need front brakes.
You know what I don't like? How much for this? No information about the vehicle.
No, I just get how much.
How much?
I get how much.
What?
Like, yeah. I that's when I reply like a smart ass. $1 to 2,000. And they go, really? And I go, well, I have no idea what you're talking about. So that's
that's pretty.
The problem is we have to stay professional. The customer really doesn't.
Yeah.
So if we become snippy short with you at times, don't take it personally, but you're probably the 10th person to ask a question without giving us the info to reply to you accordingly. I guess that's the biggest thing. Yeah. Let me know year, model, and exactly what you want. And if you're unsure of exactly what you want, at least give me an idea of what you're asking about. And don't tell me brakes.
Brakes.
Pads?
Brakes.
Rotors? Brake? What is...
How much brakes? Question mark.
How much?
That's it.
How much for brakes?
How much brakes? Question mark.
How much for brakes?
The one that gets me all the time, is that the best you could do? I mean, I could do worse.
Yeah, that's a kiss of death with me. First and foremost, I keep my prices as lean and then cheap as possible. I don't like to use the word cheap.
Affordable.
But as affordable as possible for the customer, because I know my personal expectation.
Know your worth, brother.
Yeah,
for sure.
And my personal expectation on the level of work I'm going to perform on your car, I know is already higher than 99.9% of people's. You know, it's not just a matter of I'm throwing rotors and pads on your car, and then I go, okay, you're done, bye, go drive your car home. They'll break in 200 miles.
Yeah,
you know,
I feel like we want to stay. We all want to stay kind of like more affordable. You know, we do want to make money, but also like it's important if you're like a client looking for any service. If it's really cheap, you might want to think twice, because there's a reason it's that cheap. You know, so yeah, you know,
there's always Craigslist if you're just looking for cheap.
Facebook,
you might get some guy who can build you a brick wall for $100, but it won't be the code. I have no problem working with somebody if they're like, okay, we're going to do grills, Hellcat airbox, do the brakes, like they're doing multiple things.
Hook them up a little, yeah.
A lot of times I'll just go ahead and hook them up and say, look, it would be normally this, but I'm just going to round it down to this. So I've already discounted it. And I get that people are always looking for a discount. You know, I'm not that guy. I will never walk into your place and say, Josh, I want you to detail my car. What's the best thing you can do? Like, even though I know you, I would out of respect for you, I would never do that, because I know as a professional and I know the quality of your work, whatever you charge is worth it.
Yeah, for sure.
Otherwise, if you're not sure, like I always tell people,
don't
ask me how good my work is. Ask my customers. My customers are tagged in every single post that I do. Send them a DM direct and say, hey, I saw you went to SP Mopar. How was it? Are you happy with it? Would you go back to him? Would you recommend him? I don't pay my customers. They pay me. Yeah,
we're not like those commercials where the dude was paid to participate in this commercial.
Yeah, exactly. You get the little fine print on the bottom.
As we were talking about that last episode with Renee, we were talking about, you know, like a lot of people don't want you to know who their customers were before, because You know, they don't believe they're in their work. So, yeah, if whoever you're getting work done by doesn't want to have you talk to their previous clients, then you probably don't want to go there.
Right. The only time I've ever not tagged a customer is either if they have a private account and I can't tag them, or they've asked me not to tag them.
Yeah.
Whether they're hiding the work from their wife or their girlfriend, I don't know, their parents, I don't know. But hey, that's not my place.
They weren't hiding the work from the world. They were hiding the world from the work.
Ooh. Damn. Damn, bro.
But I think since I've been doing it since 2017. I've maybe had 5 people I couldn't tag, either by their request or because of a private account where I just couldn't tag. So
yeah, it's a lot of people.
Yeah,
it's a lot of years.
Would you guys work on a EV charger when they come out?
Sure.
Work on it.
Yep.
The EV charger.
Oh yeah, for sure.
They got money.
That's right.
And yes.
and touching up on that, I think Dodge did a great job with the new design. There's a lot like for us to do on the car. You know,
it's a blank canvas.
100%.
Yeah.
You know,
the bones are there.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, once people see that thing lower, tinted windows, different rims.
The first one that gets bagged is gonna change the world.
In the world to be bagged, bro.
Oh, relax, bruh. I know a dude that said that a couple of times. First in the world.
That's right.
Damn. But yeah, I think
we might be the first podcast in the world to have SP Mopar on.
We are the first.
You are the first.
That's good.
That's right.
I saved myself for you.
My boy,
what does SP mean?
Yeah. A lot of people want to know.
Mean? I want to know.
So
I know.
SP originally derived from years back. I was really hardcore about riding motorcycles and racing at the track and all that type of stuff. Super bikes. So I was going to open a motorcycle performance tuning company called Sneller Performance. Sneller is a word in Dutch that means faster. So because I'm Dutch Indonesian, I was going to start a company.
Damn, my boy's exotic.
Faster Performance. So I was like, that's kind of cool. Plus, it's a nod to my Dutch heritage. So
that's cool, yeah.
SP. Then I got a Scat Pack, and I went, damn, there's that SP again. So when I went to DMV to get my custom plates, I wanted 392 MPR, which I didn't know about anybody out there. I didn't know about MPR Motorsports or anything. So it wasn't something towards them. I just wanted 392 Mopar. Then I was like, okay, that's cool. And I went in there and they said, no, it's not available. And I said, okay, MPR 392. No, not available. Okay, 6.4 MPR, not available. And we went through literally like 10 different ones. And then I came up with, what about SP, half space, Mopar written out? Because you're only allowed 7 letters, but you can put a half space in there in California. And the lady goes, yeah, it's available.
That doesn't count towards the letters?
No.
Oh.
So I was like, really? I can get Mopar written out? No one has Mopar? And she goes, no. And I was like, okay, I'll do it. And that's how I became SP Mopar.
All right, so is there any exciting things in your future or coming up soon for SP Mopar you kind of want to share with all of us?
I don't personally have anything really in the works yet. I'm still trying to figure out what this year's going to bring with the changeover in the cars and everything. I'm kind of waiting to see what happens with Dodge and whether this new car takes off or it flops. We just never know. I think the bones are there. Like Sinister pointed out earlier, I think once you see a car modified, will change people's minds.
Right.
Do I think the electric car is going to be the saving grace? No. I think, if anything, that i6 is going to be the saving grace. Because with the i6, like I brought up earlier, they have the 496 horsepower, 550 horsepower, and 670 horsepower. And that's a Scat Pack. They haven't announced the SRT yet. And I have a feeling the new SRT is going to be 1,000 horsepower in an i6. If not, it will be over 800.
That's going to be a 26, right? Not a 25. 25 is going to be the...
They may announce it in 25.
Okay.
I haven't heard anything one way or another, but I heard there is a possibility of information getting brought out in 25. But 25 will be when you can get the i6 twin turbo, but there's no information on the SRT version yet. So the SRT Banshee is the electric. That's a whole different car.
Oh, gotcha.
But I'm talking about an SRT i6 twin turbo.
Crazy.
So I think that one's going to be pushing.
That's
over
so
8.
crazy to just hear that said out loud, you know? It's just crazy. Yeah,
It
it's
is.
weird.
And the cool thing is about the new car, a lot of people don't understand, is that new car is all-wheel drive.
That's a big.
You can turn
that's
it
huge.
off or on.
Yes. That's huge.
Yeah. I mean, if you've ever driven an all-wheel drive car, not a four-wheel drive car, an all-wheel drive car with big horsepower,
It's crazy.
like a GTR, there's a reason they're so damn fast. It's insane. They just, you got traction at all four wheels.
Right.
So something that has 600 horsepower, that may not sound like a big number to somebody, but
it's
all-wheel
huge.
drive 600 horsepower smokes the hell out of 700 horsepower rear-wheel drive,
Right.
Yeah.
unless you're on slicks. But then you can't
Turn.
reasonably drive your car all the time on slicks. They don't last. They're not good in the wet. If there's any moisture, they're dangerous.
Dangerous as
Sand.
fuck,
I
yeah.
mean, all-wheel drive, it don't even matter if it's fucking raining.
Right.
It's gonna go. It's gonna do what you want it to do.
Yep.
Damn.
I guess the next question is, are you gonna get one?
I don't have any plans to get a new Dodge. My big thing, anybody that follows me knows I am pro-American built. And the big disappointing factor for me was that they're still building them in Canada. So nothing against our North American brothers, or South American brothers. I don't care if the vehicle's built in Mexico or built in Canada.
Yeah, right.
But if I buy an American car, I want an American built car. I don't want an American car made in Canada or an American truck made in Mexico.
Right.
To me, I just won't do it. That's where I draw the line. I'll buy a Mustang because I know it's at least built here.
Dark
Yeah.
Horse. Hey, new Mustangs are bad, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, they're sick.
The Dark
They're
Horse is
sick,
pretty
yeah.
sick.
It is.
Yeah.
For sure.
Did you buy one?
But that's to answer your question right now. Once they come out, once I sit in one, once I drive one,
he's gonna drive in.
you never know.
Look what I got.
Yeah, I made sure. Well, hey, let's create a splitter and stuff for this car.
But don't you kind of gotta don't you have to buy one though to figure out what you could do to work on it or no?
I personally, yes, but I'm different than him.
Right,
I
yeah.
create my own products,
Right.
so I kind of gotta have it on my car.
Yeah.
It's a little hard to push a product when you don't even have it on your own car. And it takes a while for me to create something to its full potential. Can I make a splitter for any car? Yeah. But if I have the car for a while, me seeing the car, thinking about it over and over and over, then that's when I create something that's going to be to my standards, to its full potential. Would I get one? Short answer is no. The reality is probably yeah, eventually. Yeah. Because that's where the market's going, and I think there's a lot of potential in it, especially once you see one bagged, there's a lot.
I like the looks of the car. I like the interior.
I think it's going to be like the first gen of this, where
Yeah.
it kind of looked good, but it was missing a couple things, and then they came out with this one.
Yeah.
They were like, damn, I think it's going to be the same thing with that body style. The first year is going to be okay, but the second year, second gen, it's going to be really the ones they put in.
When they come out with a wide body, will be crazy.
I think that's going to be bad.
Do you know what the tire size is on the new car?
No.
I do.
What is it?
305 in the front, 325s on the back,
Okay.
factory.
Yeah. That's a big tire. That's a lot of power.
That is a wide
Yeah.
bitch, dude. That's this big.
Damn.
This
That
is
is-
a 305 all the way around on a wide body. The new car on a regular body has 305s in the front, 325s in the back. They purposely designed the car to handle a gigantic tire. And that's crazy because a 325 is not the maximum width. Because every car is designed to also allow for snow chains, which means you lose an inch on the tire. So that means you should be able to run a 345 on that car in the back.
That's crazy.
That's Corvettes had 335s.
Yeah, right?
Damn.
That's what I thought.
That's a massive tire.
So yeah, so like we'll see what Dodge comes out with. We're all excited, We're all excited to see what it's gonna do. Even though it's electric, we're still excited to see what it's gonna do. What it's gonna be like, Once you see it in person, once you put your hands on it, once you look at the interior, is impressive.
Yeah.
The interior is very, very impressive. I really like the interior. The exterior, I think, there's room for us to improve on. I think that's big for us that work on these cars. I don't know. I'm excited.
Yeah, for sure.
I'll see
2 and 4 door version coming.
Yes.
Electric will be released first
Yes.
in 24, end of the year. 25, the i6 twin turbo will be available. And then I believe the 25s will all have that power shot on them.
Yeah.
And then it's going to be an option that you will pay for.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Like a subscription, you mean, or just an option that you pay?
It's an optional performance add feature.
Gotcha.
Yeah. It's just like the Scat Pack, that's 670. It has what do they call it? A package 2 equipment, which is a performance package. So I don't know what that consists of. I'm guessing slightly bigger turbos, slightly hotter tune to get that extra power.
Yeah.
Because that's a big jump to go from 550 to 670
That's crazy.
Over 100 horsepower, yeah.
under warranty.
Yeah. That's crazy.
So, but if they got a package 2, they'll probably have a package 3. So it'll be exciting.
I got a package for 3.
Like Amazon?
Yeah.
Amazon Prime. That's what I thought.
You have the subscription?
Yeah. Monthly subscription. 1999.
Yo, shout out.
Yeah.
Can we shout these people out or not?
No.
Those things are addicting.
We'll get
Man.
demonetized?
Yeah.
Well, we're not going to show the brand.
Nah.
But speaking of brands, what we are wearing today.
Oh, yeah. Check out the new merch.
New merch, guys.
That's right. That's right. We're going to start taking pre-orders
As soon as
next week. But yeah, check it out. We're going to have more colors available soon. But for now, it's going to be the gray and the black with the green.
we're going to do a limited drop of this style, right?
Yeah.
We're taking pre-orders. It's going to be priced at
$59.99.
$59.99 a hoodie. So yeah, as soon as you guys see this video, or we might post about it before on Instagram,
Yeah.
send us a DM. We'll lock in that pre-order, and the hoodies will be ready within maybe 2 weeks or less.
Yeah.
So yeah, stay tuned for all that, guys.
That's right.
Nice quality. They're warm, comfortable.
Yep.
It makes you look good too. Check it out. Check it out. Check it out. Yeah.
That's right. Also, as we are doing more podcasts, if the viewers want to get what's it called? If they want to sponsor an episode or, get your brand shouted out on this podcast,
Yeah.
DM one of us and, we'll kind of give you the details on that and how it works out. So yeah, we will put your name, your product in here and, give you guys a little bit of exposure. So
That's right.
yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that. Anything else you want to add, Martin? Anything,
What's your, what advice would you give people in life trying to make
It's because I'm old, huh? That's why you want to bring that one up.
What advice would you give people trying to make a hustle out of what they're passionate about?
Wow, that's a great question. I would say first and foremost, just remember there's a difference between doing something you love and doing something you love as a job. It's one thing to love cars. It's another thing to walk into a garage and put in the work every single day for somebody you don't know and maintain that passion. That's very difficult to maintain. But it's very rewarding on the flip side of that as well. There's something very cool about working for yourself and everything, but don't get it mixed up thinking it's going to be easy because you're passionate about it.
Right.
If you're passionate about it and you're doing something you enjoy, that you truly, truly enjoy, that is the biggest reward. It's not the money. Don't chase money is, I guess, the biggest thing.
Let money chase you.
Let money chase you. Money will find you.
Yeah.
If you are good at what you do, you care about what you do, and you do what's right, the money will come to you. I never advertised. Adrian never advertised. The only way he advertised was through Instagram, just like I did. And it was our word of mouth through customers.
Yeah.
That really did it for us.
Yeah.
And we appreciate that. Like,
Very
truly.
much.
Right.
You know, without our customers, I wouldn't be able to do what I do.
Yeah.
Right.
So the customer is the most important key feature there.
Absolutely.
But if you're gonna look into doing something, whether it's photography or it's building cars, whatever, find something that you love, truly, truly love, that you put your heart and soul into, and be unique. Find something that makes you different. Adrian, I'm sure, gets it just like I do. There's people out there who literally copycatted everything I do. And I know I'm not the innovator of modifying cars. I'm not saying I am. But by being a copycat, I mean, it's kind of weird when somebody literally does the same taillight tint I use, the same differential braces I use, the same brake pads I use. They literally do everything that I do. That's not making yourself unique and stand out. I mean, it's the easy path because you go, oh, that guy does that, and obviously he knows what he's doing, so I'm going to use what he uses. So I understand that side of it, but you got to make yourself stand out.
Yeah,
you got to find something
you can follow that path, but do
it
it differently. You know, like
Shit, I've had people take my pictures and advertise it as their own product.
on Amazon shit.
Everywhere. Amazon, eBay, local shops. You know?
Yeah, I've had people say, why do you charge this?
Oh, yeah.
When I checked with this guy, he uses the same product. I go, really? What's he using? Because I never told you what I use.
Yeah.
He told him, I'm using what SP Mopar uses.
Yeah, and that's what it was.
Yeah.
And I go, ask him what he uses. And then he told me, and I said, that's not what I use. He's getting...
Weirdos.
Yeah. It's weird.
That's
Lame.
weird.
Like Adrian says, lame.
I only use your mama. You can be sure of that.
What you use?
Your mama.
Be unique.
Yeah. Well, we got no fist bumps in this episode.
Yo,
Come on,
mama.
bro.
Nah.
All seriousness. But yeah, that's good advice.
Yeah, passion.
Yeah,
Passion,
sure.
and the biggest thing is be unique. You don't have to be a weirdo with, half your hair shaved off,
Yeah.
You don't have to be a weirdo.
and
I'm not a weirdo.
that doesn't make you unique.
Right.
What makes you unique is something
The shades.
that makes you stand out.
Yeah,
in what
like you don't
do.
gotta take the doors off your car and fly down the... Nah, never mind.
You don't have to
yeah.
talk either. Just say,
Yep.
start smelling bacon and you start talking. So it's one thing to do a hobby as a hobby. It's another thing to do your hobby and become a job. Once it becomes a job, it's not a hobby anymore, and there's a lot of pressure there. You kind of lose the essence, the focus,
Right.
the drive. It gets a little tough, but if you're going to start it, make sure you're going to have ups and downs, but you got to keep fighting through them. You'll get better at all the downs. When you're up, don't forget about the downs either. But, if this is what you want to do, you'll get there if you keep at it.
Right.
And keep learning.
You're always going to be
Always
learning.
strive to learn something new.
Yeah, you're always going to be learning. You're never going to know it all. There's always something to learn, good or bad.
Yeah. Once you stop learning, you're dead. So...
Yeah, once you stop learning, you dead. 'Cause
Yeah,
You can't learn no more.
Yeah.
And if you're not learning while you're alive, you might as well, what you doing?
You dead.
You got to stay up with the times.
And always strive to do better.
Yeah.
Yes, for yourself, not for anybody else.
No.
Don't be in competition with someone else. Be in competition
The only person
with
you're
yourself.
ever in competition with is yourself.
The man in the
Right.
mirror.
Yep.
Yeah.
When you fail, you only fail yourself.
Yeah.
So don't worry about what haters say and all the other crap.
Haters got one job to do and they're good at it. To hate.
That's right.
Haters gonna hate.
Haters gonna hate.
But
But it was a great podcast with our boy SP Mopar. Oh, what's on your feet? Hold on. What's on your feet? I just got some Jordan 1s OG. You know, that's it. Just, you
Nice
know,
hoodie, some light.
it matches the hoodie. You know, you got to match the hoodie at all times. It's got a
What's
matchy
up?
match. Huh?
That's what's
And
up.
it's green. Color of what?
Money.
That's right. And money is what? Power.
Empowers respect. And respect is earned, not given. And no, I'm just
Damn, bro. Wow.
That's
You got
save
deep.
that for the next podcast.
You got deep. And you're laughing because you got a free meal out of me? Shit, I'm laughing because you only got a free meal out of me. That's it.
Words of Wisdom by Sinister Stripes.
What's on your feet, bro?
These are they're
Reverse pandas?
They're SB dunks. Yeah, these are like the staple pandas. I think they're kind of rare, bro. I don't know. They're like samples. I think they literally say the word sample inside. See,
They got creases?
sample. Yeah, they got crazy. I wear these motherfuckers.
I want to see you crease those bad boys.
I'll crease these,
I want
bro.
to see someone get upset
I'll
about it.
crease these ones. You see, they're like the sample ones,
I see that.
not for resale.
Damn. I like
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, but my feet kind of stink, guys. Sorry.
this guy.
Damn.
Why not?
Where's the black eyes? Where's the black
The
eyes?
black guys. What black guys?
Not the black guys, the black eyes, bro. Come on.
God damn. What's on your feet, Martin?
Adidas.
That's right.
Damn.
Adidas.
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 In Germany, they're pronounced Adidas.
Yeah.
Really? Adidas. What the? How?
Yeah, why do
Adidas.
I wear Adidas? Because I used to fucking work for Nike.
He said,
and I
"I'm
don't
not-
wear Nikes at all anymore.
Not supporting Nike.
Yeah.
Dude, I
It's
do.
okay. We're hoping for a Nike sponsorship one day.
It'd be great, you know, hoodies, you know,
I had 27
Shoes,
pairs.
joggers.
Yeah. Fun fact about Martin: he used to work at a Nike factory. You said, or
Yeah,
you're
outlet factory.
Outlet factory.
Years and years.
He said he would get Jordan ones for $7 all day,
Air Force,
Every
Air
day.
Flights.
all day, every day.
Yeah.
Oh, he said he had the Bo Jacksons.
The benefit. Yeah, I had the bows, the black and white bows. And then I had the Jordans. I forget which ones they were. The ones that have the 23 up at the top with they had purple.
And those are the
purple and like a reddish color on the bottom. And they
oh,
were
those
black
are
nubuck.
They like
they kind of look like fire flames right here, right? Not like fire flames.
Yeah,
but they're
yeah,
like
yeah.
The design.
What
the fuck?
Like
Those
a
are the
sawtooth
fours,
looking
no?
going
No,
forward.
fives.
Yeah.
Yeah, the silver like tongue or something.
And then I had silver and black suede Air Max limited editions.
Air Maxes are nice. They're coming back. Air Maxes are coming back.
Those ones I've never ever seen again.
Damn.
They were like the color of your Vortex sign, like a really light silver. They were really good looking. I used to wear the hell out of them.
Damn.
And everybody was like, you know what those are? I'm like, they're just shoes. I put my
Yeah.
stinky feet in them, man. I don't care.
That's it.
They're comfortable. Yep.
Crease him. That's right. So that concludes our podcast for today. This is our boy SP Mopar, aka Martin. This is his handle right here, or down here, or over here, or in the description. You know,
Or right there.
we appreciate him coming on. Thank you very much. We will have him back soon with the other boy. He'll be back to maybe co-host, right?
Maybe co-host.
Right.
Definitely be seeing more of him regardless. So.
Yes, sir.
I appreciate you guys having me, man. It was a
Yeah,
good
man.
time.
Thank you for
sure.
coming. And as always, make sure you share, you like, share, subscribe. Hit the notification bell to get the latest and greatest from your boys over here. And also for follow our boy Chris. His handle will be down here as well. Video,
right.
pictures, and all that good stuff.
Follow him, but don't hit him up. He's our guy.
He's our guy, that's right. Until then, we got to go. Peace.